Yeah, so I am IkeSMB. Used to be called Mr. Ike and everything, but just think that just sounds stupid for some reason, so I changed it. But anyways, I've been doing Romhack speedruns for a little over 2 years now, but it really doesn't feel like that at all. It's been mostly like really sparse attempts throughout that whole time. Like if I counted my total amount of speedrun attempts in that entire period, it would probably only be a couple hundred. But anyways, and I had hardly been doing vanilla speedruns at all. Like the only times I've ever played vanilla have been for like tournaments and previous records. The main records I have are the 651 small record and the Gaiden small record. Right now, though, there's a good chance I'll lose the Gaiden small record in the upcoming weeks. There's a lot of competition, which is awesome. That's just about everything. I think I have a couple other records, but the two main ones are the 651 and the Gaiden records.
How were you first introduced to the Monkey Ball series?
So I had Monkey Ball like it's hard to remember not having Monkey Ball. Like I feel like I was in preschool, I think, when I had Super Monkey Ball 1, because I don't remember if it was like if Super Monkey Ball 1 was like a launch title for the GameCube, or if it just like came with it or something like that. But
it was a launch title.
Yeah. So I had that, right? And that was oh gosh, what was the year? So maybe 2004, I think, was when we got the GameCube. I can't remember for sure. But anyways, I had that. And I remember getting Super Monkey Ball 2 as like an Easter basket gift when I was in kindergarten, just to give you an idea of like how long I've had them. And yeah, so it's just, that's pretty crazy. Just had it for that long. Never really played it like super seriously until the beginning of 2019 when I started getting into custom levels. But before then, it would be a lot of like, I'd play Monkey Ball, do a lot of fun stuff for, I don't know, maybe a month or so. Then I just kind of like would go to something else and then come back to it maybe a year or so later. It's funny looking at replays. A lot of times that would happen around May for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's a lot of that.
What would you say is your favorite official Monkey Ball game?
Favorite official Monkey Ball game? Oh my gosh. I really have a hard time like thinking about Super Monkey Ball 1 versus Super Monkey Ball 2 and which one I prefer. I really think I prefer 1, actually. I feel like most people like 2 more, but I
do want to say, because this was not scripted or set up in any way, but one of the things I've been saying in the previous interviews is that everybody except for Sega the Saga has been saying Super Monkey Ball 2, except for Interval, who had Banana Blitz HD as kind of his out there pick. So finally, somebody other than Sega the Saga that put SMB 1 is nice. But yeah, I
mean, I'll have you know,
I pulled through.
If Adventure had good physics and some of the missions weren't as bad, I might be up here saying Adventure, all right? I'll just have you know that.
Cutsman said the same thing. Oh no.
I like the game, what can I say?
Oh man.
I have a lot of good memories with 1, especially unlocking Master. That was a really special experience for me way back in the day. It's figuring that out. It's not figuring it out, but like actually practicing and getting good enough for that back in, what was that, 2010, 2009 maybe? It's pretty crazy. Like I actually remember, okay, because especially back in the day, I didn't like to look stuff up, kind of just because it really wasn't like mentally an option that I had for stuff. So I didn't want to look anything up about like, oh yeah, Super Monkey Ball 1, Master Extra, because I'd only played Super Monkey Ball 2 up to Master Extra at the time, so I didn't know if there even was a Master Extra in Monkey Ball 1. I didn't even know if there's a Master in Monkey Ball 1, to be honest. But and Expert Extra as well. But anyways, the the whole idea I had was that I'd have to clear expert without losing a life, you know, because that's how it is in beginner and advanced. So first in my mind, the practice tool was, okay, first do it without losing your continue, and then do it without losing life, and then I just, you know, practicing for that, and then making the first step in art to get me. Like, there's so many good experiences I have with all like the really end game exclusive content that I don't think anything in Super Monkey Ball 2 matches for me personally.
What is your favorite Monkey Ball ROM hack?
My favorite, I mean, I feel like most people would say Gaiden, and in Gaiden's my favorite as well, but I feel like I have kind of like a special connection to 651, you know? Like, you know, Gaiden's the one that's like everyone plays, you know, you look on speedrun.com, there's a ton of people who've run it, but it's like 651, and like, you know, that's the hack that's like, you know, I have the record in it by a pretty good margin. I've like got like back in the day when I started running it, it was kind of like I remember watching. It was like some race first playthrough that Amoeba was in. And I remember him saying something about like, "Oh, this hack is too hard to speedrun, unfortunately." And I just remember that and being like, no, it's not, you know? And just trying to like push to be like, hey, this actually is a speedrun that you can do. So I just, in that sort of aspect of like proving that the boundaries for what's possible and like what's possible to do in an RTA speedrun are like a little bit further than what people might think. I just feel like that's really fun for me, and I put like a ton of time into ILs. Like there's all the, you know, all the different ILs and stuff have some Gaiden records. Most of them score, but the real ones that I've put a lot of time into and that I think would be really hard to beat are like mostly my 651 ones. I'm really proud of those.
What other content / work have you done besides Monkey Ball and SMB Romhacks related things?
You know, honestly, in terms of like stuff that, you know, people do for fun, right? I feel like there are a lot of people who are a lot more of like, in terms of gaming stuff, right? Some people are players, you know, they'll try to, you know, play stuff, you know, find speedrun strats, just play stuff really, you know, try to get good at something. And a lot of people are, you know, they're more makers, you know. My younger brother, it's just, I don't know, Gutsman, basically. He's a lot more of a maker, you know? And I'm a lot more of a player. So I haven't made a whole lot of, even relating to Monkey Ball, I haven't done a lot of, like, work, per se. It's just a lot of, like, speedrun stuff I do for fun, unless you want to call that work.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you speedrun other games, I'd say that qualifies.
Oh, I mean, it's way back in the, well, not way back in the day, but like 2017 and 2018, I speedran Mario Odyssey and Celeste, but that's like water is wet, you know, like everyone was doing that shit in 2017 or 2018. But yeah, it's really mostly Monkey Ball stuff. A lot of the other stuff I do is just kind of like, you know, it's other games that I've been getting into, like summer of 2019, I got really into Super Mario World at Kaizo Romhacks, which I still like to play them every once in a while. You know, like I'm excited for when Grand Poo World 3 comes out, which you may or may not have heard about. It's a thing in development, so that's going to be fun. Summer of 2020, I got into I Want to Be the Guy fan games. Didn't get like super into those. I played like some of them, but those are neat. And now this summer, I've been getting a lot into Geometry Dash, so it's just like it. Well, I mean, I was into that a while ago, but I've gotten back into it. So it's just like, I like trying different things, you know? I don't want to stick with just Monkey Ball.
What was the process of learning Monkey Ball speedrunning like? Because you said that you were mostly playing casual until like 2019.
Yeah.
So
like in like the only exception to that would be when I very clearly remember around 2012, 2013, maybe 2014. I actually need to check the replay dates, but you know, that was kind of around when I was getting into, well, 2012 was when I like first saw compilations or Monkey Ball compilations from Pack Attack. And I just remember watching some of them and being like, okay, I'm going to do the beginner 8 SME 1 strat, the time strat, because I would have been just too stupid to understand the score strat back in the day. And I want to do the alternative strat, where you like, you hit the button and you like jump over to the goal. I wanted to do those two. And I remember that the CRT I used to play on, because we played on it, CRT back in the day. Just by chance. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta get the freaking insane no input lag. It just happened to be that way. And I just remember both those stages, it was like an hour or two just trying to do the strat. And I got them both. And that B8 thing that I got the run I got way back in the day is still my PB on that stage. I actually tried to beat it recently and I couldn't. So that's funny. But yeah, that's sidetrack. Process of learning Monkey Ball. All right. When I started, the first speedrun, or the first Monkey Ball speedrun I learned was in like April 2019. All right. Or maybe even March. And at that point, I was still kind of like in a really old mindset of speedrunning where I want to like super learn everything before I start runs. Okay. Like that's what I did with Mario Odyssey. That's what I did with Celeste. Was just like learn everything, then go. I didn't really like mentally starting out by just going. That's changed a lot since then, but that's how it was. All right. So, but when I started doing Monkey Ball, it was like every single stage I would try to see. Or Monkey Ball 2, I would see what strats there already were. No one had done story mode runs for some reason, but I know J. Cool had done some like challenge mode runs, probably just did a handful of runs, like 2, 3, maybe 4 runs, of something. But it's just like I wanted to see the strats he was doing, right? So I go through, try to like replicate it, get consistent. The biggest thing that I was doing was I wanted to be able to make sure every strat that I could do, I could finish 5 times in a row. And I really remember there's a level Dreamcatcher. I don't know if you know that level. It's like 7-6 in Monkey Ball 2, I think. But
I have to look back, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a strat on that stage. Okay. And that was the first time I remember just being really, really frustrated. Like, I just could not get it 5 times in a row. It's like, it's not hard now, but back then when I barely spent any time trying to actually get good at Monkey Ball, like specifically trying to get good, not just getting good by playing it a lot, as a happenstance. And I was also playing with input lag because of the old HDMI converter. But yeah, I really remember that being the one time where it's like, okay, I really got to buckle down and like actually get consistent at this. But yeah, that was kind of a deal. It was just kind of like really meticulously copying strats that J. Cool had done. And for stages that were, story mode exclusive and no one had strats, I just made my own. And a lot of them are still, I think, the fastest strats, mostly because Monkey Ball 2 doesn't have like a ton of, it's not like Gaiden where there's like, still strats that are being discovered and the hack came out like over a year ago, but
yeah,
it's pretty cool. But nowadays it's really different though. Is like a lot of times I'm just a lot more willing to jump into stuff. Even once I got to the point where I was running 651, I think I did my first speed run. I'd have to check the date, but I'm pretty sure I did my first speed run like 2 days after my casual playthrough, which wasn't day 1 actually. I actually with 651. It came out when I was over in Cincinnati visiting my older brother, who was doing a summer internship. So that was pretty cool. I remember like checking my phone. I was in like I was in a PF Chang's. I remember. I think it was like checking my phone in the bathroom, and I just like saw him post 651 is on. I'm like, oh my god! I can't wait to get home. This is gonna be so awesome. So I think I played it like a day or maybe 2 days after it came out. But yeah, and then it was a day or two after I finished the casual playthrough, I just like quickly learned like, okay, how do I not spend like 10 minutes on this stage? I mean, you know, World 10 is like World 10. I honestly didn't even care that much for World 10. I was just like, at the time, I was like, okay, well, you know, learn strats for all these other stages, have a good idea of how not to spend an hour on each of these ones, and then go, and then I guess the rest just happened, you know?
Do you happen to know when it was kind of agreed upon that the 651 small record had to be like split into 2 separate categories?
I don't even know, because it was a lot less like 651 was added to speedrun.com not because it came out, but because I like did small runs of it, you know, which makes sense, you know. But I don't even know when that was added, because no one did runs of that for the longest time. The only reason I think anyone actually did anything was because at one point after it had been added to the leaderboard, it was... Dude, memory's failing me right now. I don't know if it was like maybe a couple months after, like maybe a couple weeks after, maybe longer, short. I don't know, but...
Questions on the spot. It's not a huge deal.
It was a while after that had been added.
Okay.
And then I just all of a sudden submitted, you know, the world 1 through 8 that I had in my my PB at the time. It was a 31:11. It was my PB for a really long time until I beat it. Like, I don't know. I think it was the end of last year. It wasn't like I was continuously doing attempts. I literally was just like, oh, well, you know, I should probably improve my 651 PB. You know, my PB is still on version 1.0. That would be fun to beat. So yeah, I submitted the 1 through 8, and then other people started actually doing it. You know, still not a lot. I think like A-Box did it. I don't know if he actually submitted. No, Bomb Squad's the one who didn't submit his stuff that he did. A-Box did stuff. I think Interval submitted stuff, and then Peter and Walker obviously have as well, but they've also done the full game small. So, and then Eddie's in the still. I feel, you know, Eddie's like learning 651 right now. But I feel like he's kind of where I was like when I started speedrunning, where, you know, really wants everything to be super learned and everything before even starting runs, which is like, you know, it's not an invalid way of speedrunning. I've just kind of like moved on from thinking like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't want to speak for him, but I mean, I want to help him learn stuff and get good.
So what would you say are the most notable differences between approaches and strategies in casual runs versus ILs and larger categories, respectively?
So there are very different types of ILs, okay? A lot of a 651 time stuff is really framey, okay? You know, like, oh, I saved the frame. That's it. You know, I'm going to move on from this stage now, which I don't feel like there's a whole lot to go on there. But what I really think is interesting is some of the more strategy-based ILs. That's like, you know, some new strategy that I made. Those are just really cool. Like, one of my favorite examples of like actually theorizing a new strategy and then actually, you know, pulling it off is technique. I don't know if you've probably know that stage. It's like a pretty well-known one from 651, the last stage in World 9-10, the flipping square.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, usually if you've seen a full game speedrun, the square flips up like 4 times, but you can get up to the top on the third one. And the idea was coming up with a way to get to the top on the second one, which is really involved and crazy. And it took like a week of like trying out various strats and like seeing videos, seeing how much height I could get off of like doing different things. And I finally came up with a way to like get to the top. I got a finish that didn't hit or clip the edge and slow me down like after getting the top. Like that really was like a full week of like over half of like all my free time was just like figuring out this stupid stage and the strat. Oh, it's not stupid at all. I just like, you know, I was really getting it, you know, it's a little frustrating. But
well, yeah, I mean, it's wild actually. So that exists now that you can do 2 flip technique.
Yeah,
that's like an actual thing.
Replay's linked on the IL record sheet. I mean, it's not on the comp yet, but you know, imagine making a Monkey Ball compilation. I've literally been saying I'm going to make one since like late 2019, and I still have not made one. Because I just like playing the levels. It's like I'm bad at putting everything together.
I get that.
So that's So it's basically strategies with ILs. It's a lot of like, first I see if there's some strategy that I can improve on. And then if there's not, then it's just kind of like, well, just optimize it. I feel like there's not a ton of strategy that comes in. The real strategy is a lot more with full game runs, though, which is more of a mental thing, which I kind of already talked about. But just trying to not care too much. I feel like that's a thing that I do more than other people. Like Glock is he's a really, really good speedrunner. He has like, I don't even remember how many like of the vanilla records he has. I don't remember if he got like the sweep or if he got like the sweep except, I think he got that, like swept every category except or every main category except master. But like he gets really, really mad at his speedrun sometimes. If something goes wrong, he can get like really frustrated. Which personally, I think if I were to do that, that would make me play a lot worse, like in the future. So just being a lot of like, whatever. I'm just playing to play. It's like that's what I do, which is very much a thing I had to learn. By the way, I used to not be like that at all. I used to get so mad at speedruns back in the day. Mostly, I never really got super mad at Monkey Ball speedruns, but when I started out like speedrunning Odyssey and Celeste, I would get insanely mad. I'm really glad I didn't have a mic for any of those PBs. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge, but I think you're right though. That once you're able to get out of that mindset, you will play better.
I mean, that's just what I do personally. I don't know if I feel like I'm throwing people under the bus. First I bring up Eddie and then I bring up Glock, but I'm not saying that he would necessarily play better if he would I don't know, just not get like really frustrated at speedruns. That's just like how some people are, but it helped me a lot.
Sure.
If you're watching this, Glock, you are a boss. Just saying.
I did catch that expert world record, the most recent one, when it happened, and that was a very fun stream.
I didn't catch that live. I remember there's an old fun fact, old A-list expert record. I don't know which one it was, but I remember watching it on my phone, walking to like a dining hall freshman year in college, and my phone died when it was on guillotine, and then I checked my computer when I got back home, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the record. Cool.
Oh man, wow, that's funny extra tidbit. Yeah, no kidding. What are the most notably difficult skips and strategies used in both vanilla, IkeSMB, and the kind of the major 3 ROM hacks?
I mean, I haven't done a lot of vanilla, but for me, the hardest vanilla strat I've tried to do is easily the dribbles pauseless strat. That strat is just so stupid. I hate that strat so much.
Nambo said the same thing.
That strat is like the reason. That is the reason why I do not do vanilla speedruns. I probably would be trying to get a sub 30 vanilla small, trying as in I don't know if I'd actually be able to do a lot of speedrun streams consecutively, because usually I'll just do a handful and I'll be okay, let's just break for a little while. But
sure,
that is the main reason why I'm not trying to push pauseless vanilla, because that strat is so bad. But yeah, that's my thing with vanilla. I don't know about ILs, because if it's skips and strategies for ILs as well. But for the 3 ROM hacks, there are some really tough IL strats. Some of them that I haven't even done. In terms of the ones I have done, technique is probably the hardest strat I've ever done in Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
But it's there are some other really tough ones as well that I discovered, that. There's an IL strat on jump scare that beats the stage in less than 4 seconds. That was really tough. There's a score strat for the blue goal that I made on anti-gravity, or no, not anti-gravity, clothesline. I don't know if you've even seen the stage, but like the green goal IL, you just kind of like jump off the edge. Maybe you even remember the stage. I don't know if you like wanted to edit stuff in, but like a picture of clothesline would probably be really good here.
I will, yeah.
You like jump off the front edge, you clip one of the bottom rails, and you get up to the green goal because the cycles line up really well. But I've actually like, you can just look at the stage and the cycles really easily and tell that is also the score strat. There's no way to get bananas and make it worth it and finish in the green, but you can finish in the blue goal.
Interesting.
With bananas. So you can do the same sort of thing, clip up to the top, but then like get bananas, go along the rails, and then get into the blue goal as it's like flipping up from the bottom. And it's really cool. I love that strat, but that one's hard. I haven't done it yet, but that there's a theory strat on Sleek Hopper HD, but I theorized way back in like, God, when was it? When did I first come up with that strat? I still haven't done it yet. Right now, my PB is a 36, I think 0.65. And I don't actually have a video of it up. It's one of my very few replays that's still on my old SD card, but I haven't got around to recording it. The only PBs on there that are still my PBs are that Sleek Hopper and like I think the custom road green goal score, which really random. But anyways, it's basically the same strat that J Cool does, but my movement's like slightly better, where you jump off the bowls, land up on the top yellow slope, clip over the green circle, and then do the tilted wire at the end normally. But I have like my main idea is like, okay, you do the same everything up till you jump over the green circle, but instead of doing the wire normally, you bounce on the circle, clip the ending wire, land on the tilted 0.5, and finish from there. It would save like 6 or 7 seconds and look really cool. That would be a hard strat, but no one's actually really done it yet. So maybe you'd not want to call it a strat. I don't know. Excuse me.
Theoretical.
Yeah, and then like hidden room is stupid, though somehow you can do it in 2 frames, which I don't understand. But that strat is incredibly dumb. And is that really it for 651, or is there some other stuff as well? Oh, the Voltfoss IL strat. Oh, Divert strat. That strat looks.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, you know what I have in my compilation it's good enough. I actually had a good score strat, which Divert strat. If you got the post goal bunch, would be a better score strat. But it was a really epic strat where it's like you because there's like these sets of 7 singles, but then one of them it's like you get 3 of it's hard to catch a cycle. There's 2 lines of singles you get like all of them on the last one, but you only run by the first one, but you can get all 3 if you run by it just the right way. I mean, I did that, and then use a way to get the post goal bunch, and I was like had such a good run with it. I still want that to be shown somewhere. I don't want to like beat that with a strat that's just like, okay, well, that's just kind of like, all right, like I'm proud of my Voltfoss PBs, even if it's like the time one is over 3 seconds off record. It's like, I think it's cool. So I think that's probably about it for 651. Yeah, and actually one more thing that actually is really dumb: the platformer IL strat. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. The only video that I think exists of it right now is my failed run of it, where I bonk the post and choke the record, lose a second. It's really sad. It would have been such a good run. Would have beaten Beards by like 10 frames. But it's I remember the strat because I remember Beard doing it in like streaming attempts of it a really long time ago. I keep saying a really long time ago, but it was less than a year ago. So actually no, it was more than a year ago. Sure, that counts as a really long time ago. But
in internet terms, I guess so. Yeah,
that was streamed. There's no like clips of it or anything. So the only actual like footage of it online is my failed attempt. It might not. It isn't really a failed attempt. It's still a 2nd place time, which would be really hard to beat. But it's just. I'll send you that shit. I got to make like a list of stuff I got to send you to use as like visuals.
Yeah.
But you clip a corner on one of the bounce pads, which sends you a lot higher than it should. Blind clip into you clip an edge of it. Blind clip into another edge. and then go into the goal. And I got like both of those, and it was so good. And I just like hit the post. It was really sad. With Gaiden though, like a lot of the hard Gaiden strats are RTAs. I mean, there are like some really tough ILs, like the Grand Finale IL strat is insane. Nambo's like incredibly boss. The Acheron IL strat is insane. Walker's a boss. You know, the Styx strat is insane. 42 guys a boss. I mean, I could really just go on, you know? It's a lot of master, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, the only 651 style hard strat, or hard IL strat, is Babel, which I have. Walker just has, like, an insanely clean finish on. I actually did finish the strat. It's 3 frames off of Walker's, and I don't think I'm going to improve that. But I did finish it. But it's like, I don't know. In terms of like hard IL strats, like 651 hard, those are really just not that fun to play. One of the only ones I actually that was 651 hard that I actually like enjoyed playing in terms of hard strats was Technique, just because of all the theorizing that came into it and not knowing exactly what would work.
Sure.
The other one's like Hidden Room. Hidden Room, I literally just want to like cry on the floor whenever I play that stage for more than 30 minutes. Which isn't a thing I've done in a really long... Like, playing 651, the freaking Hidden Room, I'm not talking about crying on the floor. But I haven't done that in a while. I might just not do that strat. I don't know. It's so dumb. Yeah, and even the ones that are kind of 651 hard, it's like... Departure, that's the name of the stage, where you, like, jump... Like, you skip the barrel, you jump to the end, you clip the thing, go up in the goal. Like, those are still fun. It was, like, still theorizing that went into it and, like, trying to improve the strat. It's, like... I just feel like, in general, there are more fun strats in Gaiden in terms of ILs, which generally means they're not as hard. But there are some tough RTA strats, man. Like, the movement to get a 65 on raise. Not the... Like, there's the pause strat, and then there's the 65 movement strat. I feel like I'm pretty good at it, but the fact that I struggle with the flat ground movement strat, and that is one of my strong suits, is flat ground movement stuff. Like, it is a hard strat. I think I actually mess it up in my record, or current record, PB, whatever. So that one's tough. There's some other like ones that people are making right now. Like, there's the 0 button apparatus. That's stupid. Shoutouts to Nambo for somehow being able to get that.
Yeah, Nambo's decided to commit to that.
I remember there was a marathon. It was like it's for primarily Kaizo Romhacks, but it's a Romhack races marathon. So it was also just for Romhacks in general. And Peter and I raced Gaiden, and at the time the easy 1 button strat had not been found. So apparatus was like a really big killer, you know. So I was doing the old hard 1 button strat, the one that Dyrud still does for some reason. And I was Nambo found the 0 button strat really long time ago. But that was right around when that marathon came out. So I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm doing that strat in the marathon. Spent 3 minutes on that stage. Really awesome. And by really awesome, I mean it was not awesome at all. I felt really stupid. But somehow he does the strat. But yeah, it's cool strats. Even thinking about like stuff like the Colossus strat, you know? Colossus like somehow just is not a hard strat. Like, I'm talking about the IL. Like, you know, RTA, it's hard to get the RTA strat consistent, but really fun. That's like favorite strat in the game for me. But you just go, you just get up, and you just get hit by the laser, and it just brings you to the top. It's like so surprisingly easy. So a bit of an IL sidetrack there. Honestly, what I'm saying is Gaiden doesn't have a lot of like insanely difficult stuff, which I think is a big reason why a lot of people speedrun it, you know?
Right, that's the popularity, that it is still fairly accessible.
And even it's like, you know, a lot of this stuff, it's like, you know, intro to speedrunning is like how to not spend an hour on Phantasm and how to like actually beat all the World 9 and World 10 stages. It's just like, you know, it's that's manageable, right? It's a lot more manageable than like finish frame windows consistently, you know?
Yeah. So that covers a lot of Gaiden and 651. Do you really have a lot for Monkey 2?
Monkey Ball 2 really just does not have a lot of hard strats. I haven't IL'd it very much, so maybe that's some hard IL strats, but I actually remember learning when I was learning Monkey Ball speedruns, Monkey Ball 2 being, especially story mode, being very characterized by having just a lot of really easy strats. So I don't think there's a whole lot to say. I know I found a way to do, there's the stage brackets. It's 10-6 in Monkey Ball 2. There's a strat where you like bounce over the brackets, which in Monkey Ball 1 people only did with a pause strat, but I found a way to do it pauseless, so maybe that's a hard strat. And then also there's a YOLO strat, Footworms, which is 9-4, where you just like get popped up by the final, you know, it's like inchworms, but everything's moving really fast, or the one with the goal on it's moving really fast. You just get popped up by that, and you just kind of like fall in a spot and cross your fingers, and it works sometimes. But I don't know if you'd call that hard.
It's still complicated, yeah.
There was like, I try to make it more consistent by looking at the speedometer when I get hit up to try to see where I should fall, which kind of improved the consistency, but I never really did enough runs to like actually put it to the test.
Sure.
I should improve my Monkey Ball 2 story mode PB at some point. Oh wait, I just remembered, that's the freaking, I still have the unuploaded PB from like October 2019 or something. I've got to beat that, because at this point I can't upload like the PB that's almost 2 years old and be like, yeah, I got this. I got to beat it, you know? Now I've really got to go back to Monkey Ball 2. What the heck?
If any, what have been your most notable discoveries in terms of tricks and strategies in SMB speedrunning?
Ooh. IL wise, definitely technique. Oh, I almost forgot. How did I forget? The smile score strat. That's like,
oh geez,
that's like probably the biggest thing I've done IL wise in 651 is actually finishing the smile score strat. Which is not really a discovery. I'd made some like small optimizations to make it easier.
Sure.
Like if you watch the route I take versus the route Jekyll takes in his like almost finish that's in his 651 compilation, like you can see a couple things I do slightly differently that save time. But the biggest discovery, well, I don't even know if you'd call that biggest, because it's like no one else is, I don't even think even tried the strat. The biggest discovery that's actually impacted other people and how they do runs, I haven't really made a whole lot of big discoveries. Like, I mean, I found the Styx RTA strat, which I felt like a genius when I found. Like, that was so awesome. I popped off so hard when I found that strat. And I found the cycle hit strat, and I found the warp dream strat, but a lot of people do like different variants on it that they find easier. Really, a lot of the biggest finds are like IL stuff that only I've done. Mostly because 651 doesn't get as much IL competition as Gaiden.
Right, nothing does.
That is true.
As far as RTA stuff, though.
For RTA stuff, maybe probably the biggest discovery that I've made is the fact that SM651 is like actually an RTA-able game, you know? Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. That's like just proving that it's doable. I love proving that things are doable, you know? Makes me feel nice.
It's still astonishing to me that we have Gaiden Master runs as optimized as they are. We have deathless Master runs. I mean, I don't think the record of that's deathless. Actually, it isn't.
Well, I know like Llama's finished deathless in my old run that does a ton of really like ancient fossil strats. Like that has one death, but it is pretty crazy how far Master has gone.
If you've played them, what are your thoughts on IkeSMB and the Monkeys Need Hard Levels to Breathe series?
Okay, like personally, I had a lot of fun playing both of those. Like, I love stuff like that. Like, really, really stupid stuff in Monkey Ball. Like, I am unironically looking forward to playing LeBron James 21 on console on stream, which I have not done yet, but I want to do.
Man.
It'll probably take a while. It took A-List like 21 hours or something, but I'm looking forward to that. You know, if more people made stages like Neon Hell and 66 bracelets, I would be a happy person. I don't think most people would enjoy a lot of those challenge stuff, or those challenge stages, challenge hacks, whatever, but I really like them.
Just the concept, just looking at 66 bracelets makes me happy.
Dude, Neon Hell is unironically a really good stage. I really like that one a lot.
Yeah.
There's like some jank and stuff that if it were like actually in a hack, you'd probably want to fix, but as a challenge stage, it's really fun. And I remember being pleasantly surprised with myself with how fast I beat it back when I did that, which, like, I don't like to focus on, like, you know, how fast someone beat something for the first time. I just like to, you know, see if, you know, did they do it, you know? But I was happy with myself. Like, yeah, you know, I've improved a lot. So yeah, that's basically it. I like them a lot, but I don't think most people would. Even people who are good at Monkey Ball. Maybe like Nambo or someone would like them as well. You know?
He's the other person that had a fairly positive spin on them. Dyrud had some appreciation.
Yeah, Dyrud as well. He'd like them. There's a few people who would like them.
Yes. What are your thoughts on the state of the franchise and the later Monkey Ball games? You get to answer this after Banana Mania has had a lot of its information.
That's true.
Out, so
I mean, I didn't buy Banana Blitz HD, but I'm probably gonna buy. I'm probably gonna get Banana Mania. Like, I don't really buy a lot of games these days, but that's still gonna be a fun one. But honestly, like, you know, I feel like it's pretty clear. It's like I'm not a big fan of a lot of the new stuff. The last game I had a lot of fun with was the original Banana Blitz. Okay. But I have never played Banana Splits though, and I've heard that Banana Splits is good.
If they can just get that game ported, I swear.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy a Vita so I can. I don't know. Is
just for that game, yet, man. You know? Yeah, I'm just waiting for that to happen because no, it is not. Not as of recording anyway. Maybe somebody's made a breakthrough.
That would be nice.
That could lead to it eventually.
But honestly, though, it's like I feel like there's just so many good substitutes. You know, it's like so many good hacks coming out. There are a lot of people making hacks, like in the middle of making a hack now. Like Scrap's making a new hack, Pinto Bean's making a hack. Yeah. Mike 280 is making Monkey Ball Madness. Fanta is making Super Monkey Ball 2 Battle. Like I'm super looking forward to like all those. Dyrud's making a hack. There are like other people in the workshop server who I like barely even know who are making hacks right now. There's
like Sudachi's got his pack coming out.
Oh yeah, well I mean I know Sudachi, but there's like I think his name starts with an I. I like like Ichigo Inc. I think is that his name. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But I barely know him, but I think he's making a hack. Someone else. I know Ghost Sam is, but I know him.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's exciting, you know?
A lot of cool stuff. Like that's a lot of big content.
And even without that, it's like, you know, Rolled Out's a thing. Yeah, and Rolled Out even has its custom level scene. Yeah, it's not exactly Monkey Ball, but it's like it's really fun. The main thing that's like right now it's hard for me to play Rolled Out because I just have an unsolved input lag problem. Oh, jeez. But once I get that solved, that'll be a lot more fun. Absolutely. So yeah, it's a lot of like, you know, it's state of the official franchise is not great, but it really doesn't need to be, for me, at least. Right, we've kind of evolved past that after 20 years of not really getting another killer app game. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Super Monkey Ball Bounce 2, anyone? What SMB Romhacks categories are you currently running, and is there anything you'd like to share regarding that? Notably a streaming schedule. So, I mean, you know, if someone beats the guide record, I want to return to that and try to reclaim it, which I might not if it's like really, really, really good. But I might just come back to Gaiden anyways. Like, you know, that's the main thing I'd want to do. Because there's a lot of competition right now. Like, you know,
Sure.
Glock, Goobs, and Nambo could all get the record really easily within like a very short amount of time. One of the bigger things I wanted to do with Monkey Ball was actually to catch up on a lot of hacks that I've missed. Like, I haven't played either of Sega the Saga's hacks. Dimensions or Universe Final Mix.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
So I wanted to play a lot of the hacks that I missed, and I wanted to work on something, and I've actually already made some progress on it, that it's like kind of a resource page, like an about page for all the different hacks. It's not like an actual web page, it's just a Google sheet, because I don't know how to make a website, and I just don't want to put in the time to learn how. But
Intervals business, I guess.
Yeah, it's like it's just kind of like a personal like me resource. Like I see for other, I got the idea from like a lot of introduction to Kaizo Mario stuff, where people would have like, oh, these are the hacks that I've played through. These are my thoughts. This is what I thought of a difficulty. This is how enjoyable I thought it was. You know, that sort of stuff. I want to make a page or a Google sheet like that. And I've already made, like, I filled out the 651 thing. I filled out, I don't know, a couple others. I don't even know how many there are. But yeah, I want to try to make that a resource, make that more publicly available, and stay a lot more up to date on hacks so that people can use that as a good resource. Because I even saw someone come in like, hey, how am I supposed to... Yeah, I want to play some good Monkey Ball hacks, but the pack directory in the workshop server is like completely unintelligible. It's like, you can tell a Linux user made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh man,
freaking Linux users, man.
Wow.
But yeah,
I do have the Romhack spreadsheet that I made that is a little bit more intelligible, but it's still a lot.
Yeah,
and I don't have
and getting like
yet.
different people's like that's the idea, is like it's not just like I have the resource. Like each person has like different lists of stuff, so they can say what they thought about everything. That would be great. Mm-hmm. So, you know, not a thing I'm running, but that is just something I want to do more and stream more of, because I you know, whenever I play a new hack, I want to stream it. And I see a thing that says streaming schedule ? Emphasis on the question mark. I don't think I've ever had one or ever will. I just you know, I might just like not stream for a month. I might stream 2 days back to back. I might stream twice in the same day for some bizarre reason. Who knows? It's a roll of the dice. I remember when there was like the giant raid from that one Minecraft streamer. I was like, thought about, I don't know, should I actually like try to make a stream schedule and like keep viewers? And I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do that. It's like that I don't want to like be a freaking streamer or something. I just want to play Monkey Ball. You know what I'm saying? And even if I did want to at the time, I really wasn't doing that great. I don't think I would have been like up for it. It's like school, like that was like really in the heat of like me being sad about quarantine stuff. But oh well.
Gotcha. Well, I know there's technically one more question, but I'll actually have one more after this. Are there any just current projects in general that you're working on, and is there anything you'd like to share regarding them?
Well, there's I already talked about the spreadsheet thing, like the hack info resource. And I would say, you know, there's like the leaderboards for 651 and Gaiden, but those are pretty much all out. All I need to do is like add the pictures for stages, but that's just like optional, you know?
Sure, it's not required to use it.
I guess you could say that I'm working on like a 651 comp, which really I could just release it, like just edit stuff I have now together and release it, but I want it to be like more inclusive. I want it to have more stuff.
Sure.
I mean, if you would have asked me that question a year and a half ago, I would have said the same thing, and it's still not out. But it's, you know, it's not something I'm like sad about or anything. Like, damn, I really wish I could, like, you know, I wish I could get it out, but it's not like,
it's not a rush.
It's not like I'm sad that it's not. It's just kind of like, you know, it might happen at some point eventually. I'm just happy doing ILs this point, and it would be fun to eventually put stuff together. In the future, I have to say though, I wish I had a different mindset about like making compilations. Like I feel like I was very much like, I want to have this be the 651 compilation, but I feel like I should just kind of put stuff in when I want to put stuff in. Like Axel, he has a compilation, Luster, I think it's called, which is just like cool runs from like a bunch of different hacks, you know? Like I like that compilation a lot. I wish I could like make more stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah. So what was the playtesting experience of Gaiden like? Because obviously you were very, very closely involved with it, and that's really the premier question with this, so I really should have turned this in earlier. But
yeah, that was a cool experience. So I don't know when it really started like heating up in terms of like actually, you know, playtesting it a lot more. I think it was maybe around like World 5 or World 6, but I just have, you know, like my USB stick that I have in the Wii, and because, you know, my brother, it was like we both at home, it was quarantine, he'd like literally just like, okay, can I get the new copy of Gaiden? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Give me this, like he put the USB stick in, he'd like give me the new ISO, and I would just go, you know, he'd have like, oh, these are the new batch stages, these are the changes, write notes on these, and give me the notes. I think we still have those sheets somewhere where I'd like write the notes and like tell them stuff, but I don't know where they are.
If you guys can ever track those down, those would be very, very cool, because Gutsman mentioned that too.
Because we just like wrote them on paper. We didn't like... Actually, once we got near the end where it was like a week or 2 weeks left before it released, that was when it like real like it was going crazy. There was so much progress done in the last week-ish before Gaiden release. Like it is, I remember on release day watching people stream it, like please, like just crossing my fingers, like please don't just like crash on a random stage or something, you know? Like, you know, I playtested everything really thoroughly, but I don't know if like freaking, oh, I'm playing on SD card and it just crashed for some reason. Oh my god, I don't know. The fact that like replays only crash on 2 stages is quite frankly a miracle for me. All right. But yeah, like I could even go back in like DMs probably and like look at some of the stuff that we were talking about. It'd just be like just sharing different stuff. Like I actually remember I have a one of my favorite playtesting like experiences to share was Trick Room. So the original Trick Room, you know, the concept of the stage is a bunch of one-way walls, so it's like you can't backtrack past certain points. And the idea was, all right, whenever you go through an invisible wall or a one-way wall at low speed, which you can't see when you're approaching it, so it's basically an invisible wall, you get popped forward a little. So the idea is he wants to make all the transitions so that you will never get screwed over by that pop. So to go, he gave me a top-down map of everything, and I was like, okay, test the transitions. Tell me what about what. And I returned to him with a map with like all these different color-coded like things with different, just showing, okay, well, these are the bad transitions, these are the okay transitions, these are the perfectly fine ones, these are things I'd change, you know, like add banana bunches here, have other notes as well. Like for the really crazy stages, sometimes you had to do stuff like that.
Sure.
I should show you that. That's another thing I gotta send you. I gotta send you that that picture because I still have it saved. But yeah, it was fun. There's this like Mike 280. He asked me if I'd like play test his stuff. He hasn't sent me any stages to play test, but that's the thing. I know Lizard Leliel. He wants me to play test his rollout stages, which I still have not gotten around to because I'm bad at time management. But I mean, I'll do that. I want to do it sometime today. But I feel like it's just personally a lot easier for me to like just go and test a monkey ball thing than to go and test a rollout thing, despite the fact that like in terms of the actual stuff you have to do to get to testing, it's just a lot easier to do rollout stuff, but whatever. I think that's about it with testing, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually, one more thing. I actually remember a lot of times when he'd make stages, I'd be like in the room, like just chilling out with him. Because he'd make stage, you know, like just in his room. Or actually, well, it was, that wasn't the whole time. It was like kind of around World 7-ish, I think is when he moved up to his room. He was working downstairs on like a table that I was a lot of times be sitting with him, or sitting next to him in. But yeah, a lot of Gaiden was made in order, so that's what I say, you know, around World 7. It wasn't all made in order, but generally. But yeah, so I actually got to like even sometimes like he'd be making a stage and I'd just like make some suggestion before he's even like finished it, which by the end got really annoying according to him, and understandably so. I'd be annoyed if someone's doing that to me. But that's another way I kind of like helped him edit the stages, which like I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of overstating. I don't know. Am I overstating how much importance I had in like?
You were kind of there the entire time, so
Kutzman says I have a good job of, but it's like, you know, he actually did everything.
he was the person who modeled it, but you were the person who kind of polished literally
Like, I don't
everything.
know. Yeah, I feel like he has a good sense of like, you know, what's good, what's not, without me telling him anything. Like, there's an old version of Revision. That the old version of that stage was like, it was so bad. It was like, it was so bad. But like the new version is. I remember being so happy. Like, yes, this version's actually fun to play. Which, like, I still think that the new version's like a little cramped, and I would have changed some stuff in retrospect. But there's a ton of stuff that I would have told him to change in retrospect. But it's like, it is how it is. I think it's neat that it's just like, boom, that's the finished product. That's guide, and it's not changing. But it's like, with rollout stages, he's gone and like he completely changed. I don't even know. I think the stage was called Destruction, and he edited that into Gyro Engine, which like I didn't even think that stage needed an edit. I thought it was fine, but he still edited it and was like, it's definitely better. Plays a lot cooler, looks a lot cooler, just like. He really understands how to make stuff good, because it's not like Monkey Ball rollout stuff. That's not the only like game making stuff he's done. He's done like a lot of stuff in Game Maker Studio too. He's like he's been doing a lot of stuff he's been doing a lot of work for a sort of like Metroidvania type thing, which has been really cool to see. It's kind of on and off with it a lot, but that's really fun to see him, post some new awesome thing with that.
Absolutely.
Like, what I'm saying is, if I wasn't there to play test stuff, Guidance still would have been awesome.
Also, do you happen to know anything about the status of Fukatsu?
I would say don't bank on that coming out. It's most likely, if anything comes with that, it'll probably be some sort of like not full thing. Like, it might be, the original plan was to have it just be expert through master, or expert through master extra, because it's a compact 1.0 remaster, reimagining, more of a reimagining than a remaster. And the idea is, okay, expert through master extra is like the infamously bad part. Like, just there are unplayably bad stages in that section of the game. So let's remake them into something cool. So that's what the original project was. But then he was like expanded it to be like, I want to remake everything. And he remade, I think he did all of World 4. He did some of World 1. But most of the stuff he did was in expert. So I don't know, maybe if he revives it, it probably won't be the full 1.0, but don't bank on it. There are some stages that are different enough where if he decides not to remake Fukatsu, you might just see him in rolled out. Like there's the remake of Sudden Drop. It's a really shitty stage that's like completely collision lock in 1.0, but he remade it into like this sort of dual coaster type thing where it's like these paths that like have these cool turns and stuff. Not like Lightspeed. It's a lot more like, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but that's a cool stage that could see some rollout action. Trinal Fissure is another one that he remade in a cool way. And there's some cool stuff. Would be awesome if he did actually release Fukatsu, though.
It's the dream. There's a lot of cool kind of restoration projects going on too, in that vein. Like obviously there's the it's Crimex, right? That's working on the
that's
touch and roll port. Dirge got Engage going. I think Crimex is going to work on Adventure Stage 4
dude.
after
Oh my
that.
god, that is awesome. Crimex's stuff looks so good. I don't know how he makes everything look so amazing, but like, god damn.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty sweet.
I think that like in 2017, the defining feature of like something being awesome is like all the stages now have skyboxes. You know, it's like crazy to think how far we've come in just a relatively short amount of time.
It is kind of wild though, because the other day I was looking through all of my old footage of playing the crabs levels for the first time, and man, those beginner extra stages are still kind of amazing.
They still hold up, a lot of them.
Yeah, like obviously they were super limited, they couldn't even do animations yet, but with the tools he had at the time, it is insane that any of them looked any good.
I would have loved to see the sort of stuff, because 0% chance that crabs come back soon. Well, I'm zero, but like very, very unlikely crabs would come back and make Monkey Ball stuff. I would have loved to see the alternate universe where he makes stuff with like modern tools, like to see what he could do, because he had some really cool like ideas, you know.
Crabs just comes out with Monkey Ball Iliad in like 2030.
Dude, I'd play Monkey Ball Iliad, man. That would be great.
Dude, I'd be here for it. But yeah, I guess that's it. I usually end this with do you have any questions left for me?
How far have you gotten in 651?
So I have beaten World 9. I have yet to beat a World 10 stage.
I like to tell people that World 9 is like, if they're playing 651, pretend like World 9 is like the actual end of the game and World 10 is like bonus content.
World 10 is kind of like Mario World Star World. You don't have to play it to beat the game.
Yeah.
But they're pretty cool if you're into that.
That's cool.
But yeah, they're pretty crazy. Eventually, I will go back to World 10 and see what I can get done with it. I'm not promising that I can beat Antlers, but I can try to get somewhere.
I don't want to tell people like force themselves to beat it if they're not having fun, Like there comes to a point where I feel like something is just too much. And then 651 World 10 is very much that for most people.
Now beating Gaiden Master legitimately is going to be a challenge in its own right that I still have to do.
That is, I remember my older brother. He was he's played Monkey Ball. Not as he's pretty good. It's not like me who's played it for like 5 billion hours.
Sure.
But he beat Master, and it was really cool to see. It was over the course of a whole week. It was like he'd have the Wii on the whole time, and it's like I think it was 1,113 deaths to get through everything. It's really awesome.
Nice.
I loved watching him play that.
That's a badge of honor.
And watching him solve the puzzle too. Oh, that was so fun.
Yeah, that puzzle is rad.
The first week of after Gaiden release, like that was such an awesome week. God damn. Yeah, that's all I have to say though.
Well, in that case, thank you for coming on.
It was a pleasure.
We went for the longest amount of time, I think, of any of these. So
Not surprised. I'm a bit of a rambler.
You beat Darude's time. Congratulations.
Yes, dude.